This is not just for Air Force Ones. So I know you clicked on here for Air Force Ones. This is for any basketball shoe or any sneaker that you're going to run across that basically stayed in the supply chain for way too long. All right. So what typically happens when shoes are made on a floor, you get these big production floors and the shoes are crafted and created over in China or over in Vietnam. And then those shoes have to be imported to the United States. Teams in these different countries put them on container ships, and the ships come across the ocean. When those ships are coming across, the temperatures can be as sweltering and as hot as can be. But more importantly, when those container ships pull into the ports, those containers are often sitting out on the ocean for an extended period of time, especially since COVID hit. Now, here's the bad part. With temperatures reaching 120 to 130 degrees inside of the containers, the glue on your favorite kicks are melting. So something bad's taking place here. So by the time the guys pull the shoes out of the containers, which have sat out in the ocean for a long time, and they start delivering these shoes to the Nike distribution centers, to the Foot Lockers of the world, the Finish Lines, the Hibbett Sports, by the time they get over to those locations, in many instances, your favorite shoes are now discolored or they have glue stains. So the Air Force One is really interesting. When we take a look at this thing, you start realizing really quickly that there are considerable problems with a lot of the sneakers that have come in. Now, when I'm holding this shoe here and you can see it and you look at it, initially on one side, it looks fine. But here's the problem. When you hold it next to another pair of Air Force Ones, you notice that the outsole is actually brown. It shouldn't be brown, it should be white. And what's happening even further with a lot of these shoes is when you look closely at them, and this is the bad part, you're getting a ton of these Air Force Ones, which are now buckling. So we look at the shoe, and what you see around the front of this shoe, around the toe, is where the glue started separating inside of the container, and I can hold it next to a good pair of Air Force Ones, and you can see the stark difference. It's not simply taking place on the Air Force One, though. It's happening with some of your favorite Jordans. In a video earlier this year, I showed one of the Jordan 3s that had glue stains all over it. Any brand that's utilizing synthetic leathers and leathers on the uppers are seeing this problem, especially when the shoes have a backlog where they're sitting in containers in storage yards. I wanted to make sure I did this video because right now somebody probably just got an Air Force One and they're looking at it like, yo, this thing is trash. And they're blaming Nike's quality control. It's not quite Nike's quality control as much as it is the fact that the shoes stayed on the container ships far too long. I'm going to wrap this up. I just wanted to give you guys a heads up on why the shoes look the way they do and why many of the sneakers that you're getting have a lot of flaws on them. They've been sitting in those containers and those containers were super hot. Thankfully, we're in the fall. Temperatures are dropping. Let's hope we don't have more of these discolored shoes coming in. That's it. I'll see you guys on the next one. I hope everything's good. Peace.